this video, we are going to look at simplifying algebraic fractions. Now, before we go into solving any example on this particular aspect of the topic, algebraic fraction, there are some basic things that we need to understand. Now, what does it mean to simplify an algebraic fraction? To simplify an algebraic fraction simply means you are to put it in a state that nothing else can break it down, meaning you are to express that fraction in its lowest or simplest form. That's what it means. And then if you want to simplify algebraic fraction into the lowest or simplest form, things you are supposed to, or procedures you're supposed to have in mind are: one, if the numerator is factorizable, that means you have to factorize. Likewise, the denominator. If the denominator is factorizable, you also have to factorize. Because after you have factorized the numerator and the denominator, you'll be able to cancel out the common factors, and then from there you can now proceed with your solving until you get to the simplest form of it. That is one. Now, the second aspect of what you need, or the second aspect of the procedures that will help you to solve any question on simplification of algebraic fraction, is that you must be able to differentiate between when an expression is a perfect square and when an expression is difference of two square. I am speaking two different things here. This is what it means. For an expression to be difference of two squares, it means when you have an expression like this, x squared minus y squared, this is what we call difference of of two squares, because x is squared, y is squared, meaning you have two squares there. Are we there now? Difference in mathematics simply means what? Minus. So it simply means that anytime you come across an expression like this, what are you supposed to have? What you're supposed to do is that this can now be simplified into two brackets, and in the first bracket you are going to have x minus y, and in the second bracket you are going to have x plus y. Is a rule. This is a rule of what we call difference of two squares. Are we there now? So this one has to do with difference of two squares. Then the second aspect, so let's title this difference of two squares. Are we there? Difference of two squares. That's what we have here. Then the second aspect is the aspect of a perfect square. For example, when you have an expression x plus y all squared, it is not the same as this. What this simply means is what? That this is a perfect square. Are we there now? So if you are to express this, you are going to get x squared plus what? 2xy plus y squared. Likewise, if you have x minus y squared, this is not difference of two square. This is also what? A perfect square. So it simply means that you are going to have it as what? X squared minus what? 2xy plus what? Y squared. So these two like this is what we call what? Perfect squares. Okay, good. Then another aspect or another procedure that you may also need to help you to solve your question is when you come across something, maybe an algebra, you come across a quadratic expression. Let's take for instance, let's say I have x squared plus what? 2x plus what? Let's say plus 8. Now this is a quadratic expression. Now what does it mean? For you to be able to continue with this, you have to what? You have to factorize this. You have to factorize this. Are we there now? And if you have to factorize this, you are going to have it as x squared plus what? 4x minus what? minus 2x plus 8, whatever you have, then you what? You factorize. Are we there now? Okay, let's say here, let's say I have minus 8. Okay, so I am now going to have minus 8 here. Are we there now? So, and when you factorize, what does it mean? You have to put these two in a bracket and then put these two in a bracket. Now, you may be wondering, how do we get this 4 and 2? To factorize a quadratic expression, it simply means that the last term here, you have to express this last term as a product of two factors, meaning product of two numbers. That when you add it, when you multiply it, it will give you this minus 8, and when you add, you will get what? Plus 2, and those two numbers will be what? 4 and 2. So since we are looking for plus 2, it simply means that what? The smaller number will take the minus sign, and the bigger number will take the plus sign. So at the end, we are going to have this as x. By the time you factorize down, the common factor here is x, so you're going to have it as x plus what? Plus 4. Then you bring your minus 2 out, that's the common factor. You still have what? X plus 4. So at the end, you have x plus 4, and then you have what? X minus 2. This is another aspect of this. Then another one is in a situation, let's say in a situation where maybe what you have now is now 2x squared plus 2 minus 4. Okay, 2x squared plus 2 minus 4. Now, if you look at this is still quadratic, but we don't have two factors. Okay, we don't have two factors that when we multiply, two numbers rather, that when we multiply, we will get what? Minus 4, and when we add, we are going to get 2. It's not possible. So what do? It simply means that if you look at this place now, in the first one, the coefficient of x squared here is 1, but in this one, the coefficient of x squared here is what? Is 2. So in a situation, or if you come across any quadratic expression that the coefficient of the letter carrying the square, that is carrying the power of 2, if the coefficient there is greater than what? Is greater than 1, it simply means that you need to first of all use that coefficient to multiply the last term. So you will now do 2 times 8 times 4. That will now give us what? Minus 8. 2 times minus 4 will give us minus 8. So from there now, minus 8 now, you now look for two numbers that you can multiply to get minus 8, and when you add, you are going to have 2. Sorry, I didn't add x here. So there is x there. So, and what will be those numbers? The number will still give you 4 and what? And 2. Are we there now? You see how 4 and 2. So at this time around, you can now go ahead to what? To do the same, just like what I did here. You factorize it, and then you go ahead to get your answer. Is that okay? And then the last part of the necessary procedures or steps that you need to know is in the aspect of when you are to divide. Let's say you have this to be divided by minus m, is the same thing as minus m all over what? All over n. In a situation where you have minus m to be divided by minus n, this is the same thing as what? M over n, because the minus and minus will what? Will disappear, to cancel out. So these are the basic things that we need to know in order for us to be able to what? To work on simplifying algebraic what? Fraction. So in our next video, we will now start using these procedures to solve some examples. See you there.